Manga Shake here with a different video. That's all I'm going to title it. I've been gone now for a bit over a month, and it's due to some personal things that have happened in my life here that are... I'm going to share it, but it's in the worst possible way. To be blunt, I've just recently lost my father, and I was very close with him, and it hit hard. Really hard. He's a Marine who'd been fighting cancer that he did contract through the contaminated water at Camp Lejeune. You were only required to be on base there for a minimum of 30 days to be exposed to enough of it. Well, he spent months there at Camp Lejeune in his tours of service in the early 1980s, because that's actually where my parents met. They're both Marines. My mom herself actually served on Camp Lejeune, but her station on base, which if you're not familiar with military bases, some of these military bases are gigantic, and Camp Lejeune is. It's the size of some small counties in some states. So my mom thankfully was stationed at a whole different area that wasn't affected by the contaminated water, but my dad has been fighting for the last 2 years with 2 different types of cancers. He contracted from that, and he ended his fight just a few weeks ago. Actually, literally days after my last video. Now, why am I sharing this on my Dart Blaster channel? Well, and I will get choked up a bit. Just bear with me. He was the reason I got into blasters in the first place. Because, like many people, you go back to your childhood. For me, it's going back into the 90s, the late 90s, where, I played sports, and I played multiple sports. I was a 3-sport athlete, as a lot of people want to call it. I played basketball. My dad played basketball with me, because he was a star athlete when he was back in school. Because you go back to there, he has trophies galore, where he was a captain on different teams, and he was really good baseball player and wrestler. I didn't get into wrestling, but I played basketball. He took me to every game. I played football as a starting middle linebacker, and he ended up being the coach, because our coach walked out, and my dad was like, well, I can do it. And basically, in everything I did, he supported me. Blasters were no different. When it came time, when I was old enough, he bought me my first blaster. We went to KB Toys through the 90s and picked out the latest blasters. And quite simply, every Sunday afternoon was, if it wasn't football season, if it wasn't basketball season, we watched the games, or we shot hoops out in the driveway ourselves, but not, if it wasn't playing or watching football or basketball, we were having a Nerf war every Sunday afternoon. And I grew up that way. I was actually introduced to Busby because, hey, we started played Nerf, we played Airsoft. Busby came out, we all got double shots when they very first came out, and I still have my very first one. So that's why I'm such a huge fan of Busby, is I kind of grew up along with it. But one of my dad's favorite blasters, I actually still have it. I found it. It's called the Professional by a company called Just Toys. This was a 1998 blaster, and this is a good memory because this was his favorite sidearm. At the time, we were using like Nerf Wildfires and things like that, and going back to like the old vintage Megas like the Rattler, and I had one called the Ratchet Blast, and which I'd love to get a hold of because like my dad had the Rattler, I had Ratchet Blast, and both had Wildfires, and he had this, and I had like the Nerf Secret Shot at some point or another. I'm not going to cross all the timelines here, but this was his favorite sidearm, and I've hung on to it all these years. Much more recently, my dad had a Nerf Rapid Strike that he absolutely adored, and a Busby Snipe, which he proceeded to snap the bolt straight off. And one of my interactions with Busby, before I became even known on YouTube at all, was that they replaced that Busby snipe. No questions asked. And that was before I ever had any interactions with him. But these are just some memories, you know. When dealing with a loss, you know, I look back with some joy as well. Because I have no bad memories. And my dad is what got me into blasters. And even here recently with the channel, he was one I referenced as somebody else's opinion when I reviewed blasters. Because I'd hand it off to him, let him use it. Because he had enough experience with blasters over the years, he could give me a valid second opinion. And I banked on that a lot as a different perspective. And that'll be sorely missed. But in all the things, you know, he liked all the goofy blasters too. And so we ended up both enjoying Busby quite a lot. And when Busby found out about what had happened, which they had sent me a few blasters to test out and review, and I never did get around to reviewing their latest bow, which, spoiler, that little bow is as fun as can be, and for $10 you should just go get one. I will release my review on it within a week's time or so. I have other things I'm also doing. I'm actually modifying a thermal hunter for somebody here that I don't know if they want me to share it or not, but I will get that done. Some things have came up and I've been delayed on it, but it's on my workbench, actually literally right here, and I will get that done. But in with the whole thing, when Busby found out, because I told him that, hey, sorry I didn't get that video out, it'll come out here in some time. I told him my father had passed away and I was taking, you know, about a month break away from things to just get myself sorted. I'm still not, but I will return to some semblance of normalcy here. But when they heard that, you know, they were like, of course, no, don't worry about reviews. They were like, take your time, you know, whatever you need, let us know. And randomly, I come home from work one day. On my porch is a very large box. And Busby had sent a number of blasters that I didn't have yet, including the Spin Shot, which, again, spoiler alert, the thing is fun as can be, and I will be using it in a war. I know it shoots plastic discs, but they don't hit hard. I mean, when my wife and I can shoot them back and forth at each other and nobody complains, it's not a big deal. But I'm going to get a second one for at least husband versus wife. That may be the only battle usage it sees, but we're going to do that. But they sent me that, and in it, more importantly than the blasters, of course I love blasters, we all do, it was a letter. And this is not just some typed up form letter. This is a handwritten note. And to avoid getting choked up too much, I will pause and recollect myself here a moment, but this just shows the kind of people that are there. They took the time to send me a note, and they said, no reviews needed, these are just things for fun, just, you know, offer a distraction. And they sent their condolences. So, this is the kind of people behind the company. And it makes me just even more steadfast as a fan of the company. Not every blaster they produce is a winner. They know that. But the company is the best there is. And I don't care if people say that my fanboyism worries them. And yes, the person who said that knows who I'm talking about. Much bigger YouTuber than me. I am a fan of a company who treats people this way. I don't see that out of the others. Busby does. And that's why, excuse me here, and that's why, no matter what, I am going to be a fan of that. My dad was. I grew up with it. And he supported this fully. He helped me out. And I will be continuing on. just, I needed some time. I needed some time away. I still might. I mean, I kind of chuckle and laugh, but if you've lost somebody, it's rough. Especially if one of the people who supported what you did, he believed in it. He always told me I needed to do more. I need to put more effort in. I need to do more because he actually watched my videos and he said I was good at what I did. And he said you can see you're sincere, and he said you need to do more. Because he thought I could make it big. He really did. I hope I can. I mean, I enjoy what I do. If I don't make it big, so be it. I enjoy what I do. So, weird video for the channel. But I don't see everybody who watches my channel as just random viewers. The people who take the time to watch me are a community. And I felt that it's worth the time for me to record this, even if it's difficult, to share with you why I haven't been around. And also, I'm going to spin it to the positive side here at the end of the video to say that I am going to put as much effort as I can. No, I'm not going to go to these over-the-top production values. I'm a dude in front of a camera who loves blasters. Specifically the weird blasters that other people overlook. I love Busby. That's not going to change. I've been very honest in all my reviews. And hopefully people sense that. I have a genuine, sincere, I guess, fan. I'm a genuine, sincere fan of Busby. And they're a company willing to do some weird things, and I like it. I like oddball stuff, and that's not going to change. I'm going to do a whole lot more stuff going forward because, well, somebody very special and important to me always wanted me to, and always believed in me. So I'm going to do my best to live up to that. So going forward, I do hope and plan to do whatever I can to grow this channel into something even bigger and better. Maybe one day I can actually be one of the big channels for Nerf blasters. Shouldn't even say Nerf anymore. Foam blasters. Because, to look around, there's not that much Nerf in the workshop here. There's a whole lot of other stuff. But to bring it to a close, I don't want to end it on a sour note. Because, of course, it could very well easily go that way. But I do hope for a good, positive future. And for me, what has happened here recently to me, is something I needed to take the time away from. And just kind of, spend some time with myself, my thoughts, my memories, all that. But going forward, I do want to kind of charge forward to do the best I can to live up to the expectations that were left for me. And hopefully this channel, that'll become noticeable. So, thanks for bearing with me and watching and just kind of being here. Because I meant it when I said, you that watch the videos, you're not just random viewers. I see it more as a community. Because, you care enough to take some time out of your day to watch me ramble in front of a camera. In this case, not really about blasters, but, that's what I do. I chat about things. Just so happens that my topic is normally the blasters. But, hopefully you'll stick with me for many, many years to come. And many, many hundreds of videos to come. Till next time, it's Mongoose Jake saying thanks for watching. And I sincerely mean that. Thank you.